for our activation, so our pre-workout, pre-massage routine, we wanted to think about everything that we're going to need in order to do the massage properly. What muscles need to be activated, which muscles need to be lengthened. So we're going to start off with a hip flexor stretch. Now, if you have one that is your favorite, please go ahead and do that. One of my favorites is just the Samson lung stretch. So now, before a workout, everything is going to be moving. So we're going to tilt our pelvis under. So anterior butt, posterior pelvic tilt, and then we're going to lean forward. We're going to bounce in and out of the stretch. For activation, we can go right into a hamstring, and we can bounce back and forth, keeping everything moving and getting that blood flowing. So continuing that warm up with our hips, we're going to now start to activate our glutes because we need those for massage, for proper biomechanics. So you're going to lay on the ground. Your knees are going to be up. We're going to tuck our pelvis under, so that posterior pelvic tilt. Our core is going to be engaged. Now we're going to squeeze our glutes to lift up towards the ceiling and back down nice and slow. So we're just going to get those glutes warming up. Now we're going to start to warm up our hip flexors. So we're going to have our knees about 90-90. Core is going to be engaged. You can lift your core up if you want further engagement. We're going to lower one leg and up and switch. So this is going to get our hip flexors as well as our core. If you want, you can add the arms. Get a little bit more challenging. Okay, so we've warmed up our hips, we've got our glutes activated, our hip flexors activated, and we've done a hamstring quad hip flexor stretch. So the next thing we're going to move on to is our shoulders. So we can start with a banded, or we can use a broomstick, and we can stretch our shoulders out and get them warmed up. You can go all the way back. If you have shoulder injuries, this is not going to be a good one for you. To move into a light banded external rotation, where we're going to keep our shoulders locked in to our rib cage. Our palms are going to be up, and we're going to open. Give it a nice hold, get those external rotators activated. Okay, so there's a couple different variations of the 90-90. It's a really good one to get all of that hip joint activated. So we're going to start in this 90-90 position. You can lean backwards, makes it a little bit easier, or you can try to stay upright. We're going to switch back and forth. Do that a couple times. Then to make it a little harder, we're going to lean over top of our quad to get a nice glute stretch. And then to make it even a little bit more harder and a little bit more of a dynamic warm up, we can lean forward. And then we're going to lift up our toe to get some rotation in there, activate the glutes a little bit more. Again, on the other side, sit upright here. Lift up foot. This makes it a little easier to lift up the foot as we're taking a little bit of weight off of it. So you can choose where you're at today. Okay, so in massage, we have a lot of lunging positions that are going to need to happen. So it's a really good idea to make sure we're warming up the outside of our hips in that glute med area. So standing about shoulder width away from the wall, you're going to lift up the wall that's closest, the leg that's closest to the wall. Then you're going to push it into the wall using this hip. So you should feel this on fire. Now, this might be hard enough, but if you want a challenge, you can try to squat. Do half squat. So for the wrists, we're going to use a lot of wrists. We want to make sure we're warming them up however you need to do that. I like these stretches. Again, it's all dynamic, so we're all just going to move through the motions, get them prepared. We can go underneath. With this one, make sure our elbows are going to be facing forward so that you can get the most stretch on those extensors. Side to side, you can go this way.